Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, April 27th and Friday, April 28th, 2017. As usual, on the end of the week, we don't do a market preview typically for the Friday, and this will probably not be an exception unless Thursday's exciting, and I don't expect it to be. It's been a strange week. We've had two big gap ups that led to very flat trading intraday. Wednesday, we had a very flat opening that led to very flat trading intraday, especially on the NASDAQ side. So it's just been slightly uneventful from an intraday trading perspective. We still pulled off a few winners. Opening range plays worked on the futures, so green day, but nothing. Let's say nothing spectacular. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the ES, the S&P 500 in broad market form. Notice we're getting back on the ES here towards a 13 sell signal. So a couple days of new highs will give us another one of those. But at any rate, it's still moving because the post market's still open here. Let's go through the major indices and see what we got. So crude oil lost 27 cents back to 29.27. Gold gained $2.90. That's a blip on gold to 1270. The S&P cash index lost a point, and it's actually at 10 towards the count there. 11, sorry if I go to projection, but it's around 11. So two more days up would give us a 13 sell signal on the S&P. The NDX down 7. And again, big gaps, you can see, not really trading. That's not great. We don't like to see that. Usually those gaps will come back and fill, and then you're going to end up with a weird looking top. Here's the SOX down 8 on the session. Biotech's up 5.7. Haven't gone anywhere in a while. VIX regaining 12 cents to 1088. Still one of the lowest closes in a long time. Trend closes at 1.22, which is just around the 10-day moving average right now. NASDAQ volume was 1.7 billion, down a tick from Tuesday's action. Advanced decline ratio only positive 665 on the NASDAQ. That's a little less than the first 2 days of the week, and plus 459 on the New York. Google gains 30 cents. Not pretty. Apple loses 88 cents. Amazon up 167. Which is just a blip on the $1,000 stock. Netflix down 199. Remember, you've got to, on these signals, you get the pink risk line, you've got to close above them and then move above the high of that to break the signal. So technically, Netflix still hasn't broken that signal. Tesla down $3.69 here to 310.17. The TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 67 cents, basically mid-range for where it's been. Goldman Sachs down another 43. They're down 43 cents after a couple-day rally. Let's look at the intraday action, 5-minute candles on the ES. So, again, let me slide back. So there was Monday, the gap up and the flat day. There was Tuesday, the gap up, the push higher for 40 minutes, and then the flat day. And then here's Wednesday. It's actually got a little more range intraday than the other 2 days of the week, which is interesting because it's the down one day, right, instead of the big up days. But that's because there's no gap. The flip side is when you look at the NASDAQ futures, you have the gap up and flat day Monday, the gap up and drift higher Tuesday. The range is actually it's about the same probably Tuesday to Wednesday, but a little flatter most of the session. There's one spike early and one down spike later, and that's it. It's a pretty uneventful day. All right, so in terms of economic data that's left this week, and remember, we've got a ton of earnings still coming out this week. That's really the focal point. More stocks Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday we don't really care about. So an hour before the bell on Thursday, we've got durable goods, international trading goods, and jobless claims, along with wholesale inventories, the advanced look. 10 a.m., so 30 minutes in, we've got pending home sales. 10:30 a.m., we've got natty gas. On Friday, we've got the first look at gross domestic product for the first quarter. That can be a big number. Unemployment, or the employment cost index, also at 8:30 a.m. Chicago PMI at 9:45. Consumer sentiment at 10. So there's still some major data left this week. That GDP number is the thing that could still cause some interest Friday morning. Maybe the first half of the day will be worth trading. But the second half of the day, probably not. And the main reason is not just because it's a Friday and not just because it's the end of earnings season, but because it's also the end of the month. So you got a Friday, that's the end of the month. Usually that's about it. They're going to print the statements and call it a day. May is usually a great trading month. Looking forward to it. You get past earnings and you're free to go all the way until Memorial Day. And then summer starts to kick in. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday.